Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your hashtag Better Together devotion for today. And this week I've been tackling kind of some concepts that are almost totally countercultural for what it is in our own context, at least my context of living in the United States. You're calling us to submit to Christ, calling us to be dependent upon each other. There's also another radical concept that sociologists are really leaning into, thanks to Brene Brown, and that is the concept of vulnerability as a strength. And Paul wrote about this in the scriptures long ago. In Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, it says, "Bear one another's burdens, and in this way fulfill the law of Christ." Bear one another's burdens, and in this way fulfill the law of Christ. Well, what is the law of Christ? Well, if you look at the Gospels, Christ lifts up this concept of greater compassion, greater mercy, greater understanding, a deeper forgiveness. How many times do I have to forgive my brother? 7 times 7? Oh no, 70 times 7. I mean, oh man, that's a lot of forgiveness. It's a lot of offering. Christ lifts up an expectation that we will be a people of compassion and mercy and grace. That will be the law that we're held to. Not a law of strictness to codes or Sabbaths or things like that. And in doing so, we are called to bear one another's burdens. Okay, so if I have something that I'm struggling with and dealing with, rather than wear a happy face mask in front of my face and say, I'm okay, everything's fine, I am called by God to follow Jesus and to follow the teachings of the apostles and to be vulnerable, to not be one who strives to defend and build walls that actually keep people from seeing the real me, but instead to open myself, to share my insecurities, to share my fears, to share what's going on in my heart of hearts. This is the strength that Christ teaches us, that where we are weak, he makes us strong, that where we are vulnerable, we find the deepest and most profound love and security. So today in your prayer life, I want to invite you to take some time to explore your heart of hearts. Take moments to ask yourselves, what are you afraid of? What are your deepest insecurities? What happens in the world today that brings you anxiety, that makes you kind of go, ooh, and brings up those defenses and those walls that prohibits you from sharing your true self, the one that Christ created and desires you to be, with each other in the church? How can you be more open, more vulnerable, and share in the grace and compassion that Christ calls us to when he says, bear one another's burdens? And in doing so, you are fulfilling my law. You're fulfilling my understanding of what the way of salvation is. Take time to do this, and you'll find we'll be better together.